we covered a lot of information. We covered benefits of short-term rental. We covered management, HOA rules. Then we talked about the significance of reviews. Then which websites to put it in. Then how to handle the sales tax, how to handle the neighbors, how to handle the trash, how to handle the cleaners. You pretty much, this is like a $8,000 Airbnb course that you covered in the last 2 episodes. Let's jump to how to handle the sales tax for these. Is it the same like how we do the TPT or how is it different? How about the dealing with the neighbors and the trash and the music and the nuisance that neighbors perceive an Airbnb next door? How do you handle the laundry, like the cleaners? I always wonder, did they wash these bedsheet or not? I'm just wondering.
But it is not very complicated because all of them have good reporting systems. So you go in and
How do you use technology to monitor? Like with Wi-Fi, you have cameras, and what are the some stuff that you use it regularly?
as well. So you have to be careful on not to buy in places that don't have a lot of action. As long as your HOA doesn't say no more than 3 tenants or no more than 2 tenants or something stupid like that, you can buy Airbnb short-term rental anywhere and do third anywhere.
Srinath, welcome back. Lot of information. Let's jump to how to handle the sales tax. Is it the same like how we do the TPT or how is it different?
Okay, on sales tax, there are 2 different tiers. For all the rentals less than 30 days, you are charged at 14% sales, just like hotels. 14.5% or whatever that amount is. And for anything over 30 days, it's like the city tax, the 2%, 1.5% to 2.5% range. The good news is Airbnb and VRBO, they do it for you.
Okay.
They collect the tax and they pay it for you too.
Oh, that's even easier.
Yes.
But if it's for longer than 30 days, they automatically switch it down to 2%?
Yes, they switch it down.
So they file the taxes.
They file the taxes.
That's even better.
They pay the taxes, they don't file it. They pay the tax on your behalf, so you're required to file it. Well, it's very simple. You take a report from them and just file it in your aztaxes.gov. So you don't have to pay, the money is already paid.
Correct. So at this juncture, I want to also quickly talk about TPT. Lot of landlords are not even filing the TPTs, or they ask me after like 2 years, hey, what is this rental tax? I said, you're supposed to file it regularly every month. In Tempe and some cities, it's like they're okay for you to go every quarter. But TPT for Airbnbs is like STRs, they call it, short-term rentals, is very important. So Airbnb handles it. Even Booking.com, all the websites handle the sales tax?
No, Booking.com doesn't handle it.
Okay, so you have to
only Airbnb.
Literally, like you said in the last episode, this is like operating your own business.
Yes.
You have to keep track of it, and then you have to pay, because Booking.com, they all probably issue 1099 to the entity that owns it, right? End of the year?
From this year onwards, they are required to issue.
Okay.
So they will issue the 1099. But it is not very complicated because all of them have good reporting systems. So you go in and print out a report for the month, and you will know exactly what you made.
Okay.
So it is not that hard.
It is not that hard, but then it's also not that hard to forget. So that makes it even more complicated, because it's just like TPT. You don't do it 1 or 2 months, and suddenly you'll get a penalty letter. Then you have to catch up, and sometimes there is an audit. Then you have to prove, and it gets to be a headache.
It may be a little different here because they already got their money. They won't charge you penalty.
Okay.
You just need to report.
Just need to file it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about the dealing with the neighbors and the trash and the music and the nuisance that neighbors perceive an Airbnb next door? Did you have that problem?
Yes, I did have that problem with because the neighbors, when they hate you for doing Airbnb, they want to get back at you. So no matter what you do, they won't be happy. That will be simple things like trash can.
Oh, they are not rolling the trash can back on time.
Yeah,
things like
that's
that.
where they come. They report you immediately. On
To the HOA.
The HOA or to the city HOA. What I did, or most of the trash companies actually have the service of rolling back the can.
Really? The city? City offers it?
In Sedona, they do have that service. If you pay
Oh,
extra.
I didn't know. Maybe
If you pay extra.
if Chandler has it, I should take it for my house, because every time the trash can is there, I get a notice, or my neighbor actually rolls it into my
Yeah.
side yard. I told my neighbor, you shouldn't do it. I'll do it, but then he likes to do it. He says. But it's interesting. Sedona, the city, you tell them to roll it back, they take the trash and roll the can back to the yard.
Yes. So they do that. So they charge you for it a little bit extra, but man, that saves you a lot. I mean, that is the biggest headache. In my opinion, the damn trash can is the worst of all the headaches.
It's just a perception. The neighbors are looking at it, they get the perception that, hey, they don't care, they're just leaving the trash can outside.
So the trash company comes and it pulls it out of your drive, wherever it's supposed to be in your community property. They take it out, empty it, and puts it back. So normally the trash is $90 a month, and they add additional $60.
So they even roll it out to the street also.
Yeah, they roll it out to the street, empty it, and put it back.
That's
because the truck is sitting outside, right? Cannot come into your driveway.
How do you handle the laundry? Like the cleaners? I always wonder, did they wash these bed sheet or not? I'm just wondering.
Yes, that's the other key thing, because we have small size washing machine and washer and dryer in the units, and it takes forever for the damn dryers. They take forever to dry. So and then once the tenants leave or guests leave, you have a lot of laundry. You have towels and you have bed sheets, you have pillow covers, you have kitchen rags, all this stuff. So and the cleaners, if they sit there doing all your laundry, it'll take them 5 hours to go through all that, and they charge you hourly. So what I did is I set up an account with the local laundromat, the closest laundromat. Cleaners, when they come, all they have to do is they first go to the laundromat, pick up the laundry from there, which is all folded and nicely put in, and use those to do all the beds, and the set that is dirty, they just leave it there.
Oh my God.
That saves you a lot of time.
Yeah.
And you just get one invoice from the laundromat.
That's good.
And usually it'll be only like $30-40 for the whole month. And cleaners charge $100 an hour.
Yeah, no, that's a brilliant way to do it.
This saves a lot of time. And then the cleaners don't have much to do. All they have to do is spend time on vacuuming and wiping down surfaces.
With the cleaners, what are some best practices? Like how much do you pay them, a salary or per visit?
Or per visit for 8 people to 10 people. And if it is around $300 per night, then your cleaning fees, your cleaning fees is always one night's charge usually.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The least amount of cleaning fees is $100. Okay, if it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo, it's $100. And the highest cleaning fees is $350. Your cleaning fees should be in between these two numbers, and usually it'll cost you less than, somewhere in between. So when some tenants leave it very dirty, it'll cost you the whole $350.
Right.
But some tenants leave it really nice and clean. It may cost you only $150, even though you collected $350.
Yeah.
For cleaning.
Because Airbnb already charges cleaning fee.
Yes. So we enter it when you're putting your
listing.
listing.
The owner enters it. A lot of times I can tell you from a tenant's perspective, I never pay attention to the cleaning fee.
Yeah.
Because I'm only looking for, okay, what's the total, and so they can charge like 300-400, and
yeah, it just depends on the number of beds. If it's 8 to 10, it will all 300 is reasonable because you have to do all that laundry. But if the owners do it themselves, the biggest I would still, if your owners are doing the cleaning themselves, I would still suggest use a laundromat, just because.
Laundromat makes sense. It's a brilliant idea. You have 2 sets. You drop off one at the laundromat.
Yep.
And it saves you time. You pick it up, lay it out.
They do a better job. They have bigger machines.
Yes.
And you don't have to sit there waiting for the dryer to end.
How about the maintenance guys? You have like handyman in every town?
I have handyman. Yes, I have contacts of 2 or 3 handymen. So if there is an issue, I send it. But usually people are accommodative, and if there is an issue, most guests are very happy if you refund $50.
Oh.
They prefer nobody come and fix it.
Yeah.
And take the $50 rather than you trying to go scramble. You don't have to scramble.
So I've been using this app called Thumbtack.
Yeah.
Thumbtack is so useful for me because every time my tenant, I don't have any short-term rentals, but long-term rentals, they send me a picture, and then I put it on Thumbtack, and there's a bunch of motivated handymen who bid on it and get the job done. It's been a lifesaver for me. Now I don't have to worry about that one handyman who says he's 2 weeks
Yeah.
away and all that.
Yeah. I used Thumbtack in the past at one time, and I thought it was good too. Yeah.
Yeah, but once we establish relationship with the handyman, first I'll call my preferred handyman. But
Yeah.
if he says he's 2 weeks away, it's different.
Then you try.
Now,
Yeah.
now, how do you manage the insurance for this? Is it like a regular hazard insurance, or is there a special liability insurance that you tack on top of that?
No, they're just regular. Airbnb has a different insurance. You don't have to pay anything extra for it. I never had a claim so far, but their claim process is very simple. They want you to provide them pictures of the damage, and they will come up with a dollar amount to compensate you. And the guest will have a chance to appeal that amount for 60 days.
Okay.
So,
So basically, these are the damages caused by the tenant, is what
Right.
the Airbnb insurance covers.
right, that's correct.
If there is a flood or something, God forbid,
That's regular hazard
that's regular
insurance.
hazard insurance.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you just have the landlord policy,
Yeah.
and that's it. That should cover that.
Yes. Yes.
What are the biggest problems that you've seen with Airbnbs?
The biggest problem is once you start with Airbnb, you have to stick to Airbnb. It feels like you cannot get out of it because you already invested in all the furniture, and when you're sick and tired of it, if you're like doing a long-term rental, but none of the long-term guys want a furnished
Furniture,
unit.
yeah,
They
yeah.
always want an empty unit because they all have their own furniture.
Right.
That's why it is a decision that you have to, take it seriously and assume that you're going to stay with it.
It's like a business. You have to give it time. You have to give it
Yeah,
at least 2-3 years for it to sink in, stabilize,
yeah,
and then you understand. And if it doesn't work out, at least you get rid of the furniture, but still you are not going to burn your pocket too much because you would have tried. And if
yeah,
it doesn't work out, you sell the furniture or move it to your garage, and then you try it at a different location.
Yeah.
Once you mastered all this, I mean, Srinath really went through lot of stuff that we don't even think about. Like, I never thought of this laundromat option. I never thought of this option wherein I can be here and manage an Airbnb instead. Or no, I always thought about the 30% property management, which kind of put me off. But all this is coming from experience and all that. Now, I want to talk about technology. How do you use technology to monitor? Like with Wi-Fi, you have cameras, and what are the some
Right.
stuff that you use it regularly?
So yes, Wi-Fi is very important because that controls the lock. So you set a code and give them the code, so they check in themselves. And I have 3 cameras on the outside. I don't put any cameras on the inside. You have to disclose where your cameras are to the tenants so that they feel comfortable. And my AC control is Wi-Fi, so that you can when the guest leaves, you can set the temperature high or low so that AC doesn't run unnecessarily. And those are the main system.
Okay.
These are the 4.
So you
main things.
remotely activate the alarm and all that?
Yeah, I can if I want to, but I do give the code to the guests when they come in. This is alarm code, but I can disable it.
How about like the cable and all that? You have cable for the TV or no?
No, just Wi-Fi.
Just
You
Wi-Fi and
have
it's a smart
yeah,
TV.
you have cable, but I don't have cable actually. You just have Wi-Fi, and
I think people are okay
I
to
give them the stick, the Chrome stick.
Okay.
From Amazon, so they have to use their own Netflix account or Amazon account.
Okay.
So there was one time that I forgot to log out of Amazon account, and the guest bought a bunch of movies that night.
Huh.
One night,
I
he bought
would.
3 movies. So I the next morning I logged out of it remotely.
See, a lot of the people who are watching the channel, I see a lot of views, but I don't see subscriptions. I know as an audience, you don't care about subscribing to the channel, but if you do subscribe, it's going to help us, the content creators, because the episodes are going to be shared across multiple platforms, and a lot of the other people are also able to see it. So be sure to subscribe. So Srinath, back to you.
So couple of things I want to address. One is on these HOA rules. Some HOAs have this rule saying that you cannot have more than 3 different tenants in a year.
Oh,
It's so stupid, but I don't know how they're going to enforce it. They have this thing so that to stop the 30-day rentals as well. So If you are going to do 30-day minimum, um, which I would say is working great. I'm doing 30-day minimum now and it's working great. You don't have to deal with any restrictions, and you have a lot of tenants who want it on 30-day minimum as well. You have to be careful on not to buy in places that don't have a lot of action. If it's in Chandler and Gilbert area, the insurance companies will make deals with you if
Yeah.
you do 30-day minimum, because they have a lot of times people get have flood in their home or home burns down. They need to accommodate
Right,
the
right.
tenants
I've
in
done
a
some of
furnished
those.
place.
Yes, yes, I've done some of those. They're
So
very
yeah,
lucrative.
they are very lucrative. That's why 30-day minimum, um, as long as your HOA doesn't say no more than 3 tenants or no more than 2 tenants or something stupid like that, you can buy Airbnb short-term rental anywhere and do 30-day minimum.
Okay.
Okay.
See, people who are considering doing Airbnb, you have to totally consider it as a business, right? That's number one. And the business, there are a lot of external factors that also are going to impact. Now, there is a lot of push from neighbors in the sense that HOAs are clamping it down, cities are clamping it down. You always have to be plugged into the group. Like there is probably a lot of Facebook groups on Airbnb wherein all the hosts are talking about what are the best practices are. I think everybody should plug into that so that you are aware of what's happening. Of course, having a professional, somebody like Srinath, like you can talk to him because he's already neck deep into all real estate and now he's into Airbnbs. Talking to somebody like Srinath is going to definitely help. What is the other stuff that we should cover?
So I would say you do it. Don't be afraid of it. It's not very complicated at all, because you have even if HOA stops you, there are ways to do it. Like I said, there's 30-day minimum. So do your research and buy it. And the second thing is make your house unique in one or two ways, and highlight that in your listing. And unique in the sense, let's say you put a jacuzzi in the backyard, so highlight that. People want to see, or a swing set. Simple things.
Yeah.
People like those extra things that they don't get in a hotel room. So that's what they focus on. Okay, the difference between a hotel room and this, it's not the kitchen. It's mainly these extra things. Or you put a trampoline. Those things don't cost much, but that will help a lot in keeping your property booked.
I mean, if you're operating remotely from here, a property in Sedona, it takes a lot of diligence in planning everything out when you're setting it up to make sure it has all these features and all that. And then having a reliable handyman locally, that way you get an idea, you tell that guy to implement it.
um, the first 2 weeks would be hard, but the positive thing is you get to, especially I like Sedona a lot, just because you get to enjoy it whenever there's nobody, whenever no guest is there, you get to go and enjoy it. So
Right.
that's why Sedona is extremely unique, and Sedona has very limited inventory. There's no space to build more. It's all built already. So if you can buy something there, it's easy to get out of as well. And so Sedona is a very unique city like that, to have an Airbnb, and they have really good cleaners there and good laundromats and good handyman too. So because there are so many Airbnbs, so all this is infrastructure is there already, so it's not hard.
So, well, before we wrap up, which are the pockets that you think will be great Airbnbs? Of course, in the Phoenix metro, you already divulged that Scottsdale is a good pocket to be in.
Yes.
If we have to slightly expand, like Pine Top, Strawberry.
No, I would stay away from Sholo and Pine Top. Um, I like Sedona is really good. Scottsdale, Sedona, and Flagstaff. Flagstaff comes third in the list just because there's so many Airbnbs in Scottsdale in Flagstaff. That's why it comes third. Um, Scottsdale, Sedona are number one, number two in if you want to stay in Arizona. But if you want out of Arizona, then San Diego and in Los Angeles, anywhere near Disneyland or Universal Studios, the occupancy is really good. Um, and of course, near Yellowstone National Park, I heard occupancy is good. I don't have any Airbnbs there, but I heard occupancy is good there. So that's, but in our state, in Arizona, if you can find one in Sedona, it is easier to find a county island property in Sedona as well, because there are a lot of county islands there.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for.
I learned a lot today. Now Airbnbs, I have to seriously consider changing some of my Scottsdale properties into Airbnb. So yeah, I appreciate your time. You did your diligence. You got your notes. You talked about it. It will be so helpful to so many people, and I thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for inviting me.
Thank you.